Until you've actually done it, you don't believe that like making money online is even possible. You don't really believe it, but the biggest catalyst was just doing it. I think our original invoice was for like $925 or something, and he refused to pay that like outright.
Which is crazy.
But you just have to push through it, and then like I promise you, if you put in like enough work and stay with it for a long enough time, it's gonna work out. Like it has to.
If you told me a year ago like we'd be making 20K a month, like I wouldn't believe you. Like that would have been crazy, but then we did it.
Welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel, and today I have another special interview for you. Today I wanted to bring two of the best students inside of our Growth Rider Mastermind and just get them to share their journey, the obstacles they've faced, and the growth they've had this year, because it's been pretty significant. So let's get right into it, and without further ado, I want to welcome Alexa and Lazar. What's crazy about this interview is that when you guys had I think first one earlier on this year, not even me, I feel like even you guys were not expecting to be at the level you guys are now. I feel like the results you guys have now, you guys expected to reach there, if anything, in 2025 midway, but you were able to exponentially get to a point where you're getting these results at a pretty, like, in a fast period, going from charging $800 to $900, getting, what's the word, there's like clients overreaching, when it comes to working with you guys and such, and to now, like, setting boundaries, having proper clients, even going on trips and meeting clients in person. It's really dope to see. So again, I want to bring you guys on and share that journey. But before we even just talk about all that, how did you guys get even, started in email marketing in this online space? Like what motivated you guys to like go like, all right, you know what, like this traditional route's not the way. I gotta find something online.
First of all, I've been following you for a minute, like even before I joined Growth Rider, like for I want to say 2 years. I think I got into the whole like money Twitter space and like
So was it through Twitter?
yeah, 100%. For you through Twitter and honestly the whole online world. Like I had followed on YouTube like Emon and all like the service level type business content, and then Twitter is what really got me into it. But yeah, so we started in about August 2022 is when I really started kind of just absorbing knowledge and getting into the space, but we didn't actually start executing a year and a half, almost 2 years later. So if anybody's watching this, as soon as you learn something, number one thing, just start executing right away. Because if I started executing right away and didn't just stay in that analysis paralysis phase for those first 2 years, I mean, I would have been way ahead of my journey. But yeah, we started together, and I think September 2023 was when we started the agency. So just over a year ago now.
Wow.
And we started together because I mean, it's always nice doing things for yourself and on your own, but when you have your best friend to build with, I mean, we've known each other. We've been best friends since grade 9. Wow. So we've known each other for like 6+ years now.
Right.
And then going from that, just childhood best friends to starting a business together. I feel like there's nothing better than that, building with your best friend.
100%. A couple points that you made that I wanted to talk about is like, I actually had a video on this yesterday on my Instagram. It's better to just start and even do imperfect things than to just wait, like you said, the analysis paralysis phase that you're in, where you were just probably, and I think a lot of people sometimes, like, they have so many options, so they don't even know what route they want to take. And then they're like, oh, should I try this? Should I try that? And then you weigh out a very minor con of this business model versus like a little pro of this, versus just like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna try it out, let me go with this, not getting distracted. So talk about, I guess, maybe if anything, just like that analysis paralysis phase, like what did that look like for you guys? You know what I'm saying?
First, we started doing cold emails manually, believe it or not, which no one does. And we were doing that for like a few months and it wasn't working out. So then we switched to cold DMs, which worked. And I guess when we landed our first client, we still had like no idea what we were doing pretty much. And I guess that's like probably the best thing that anyone could do, just like throw yourself in the deep end. Because you're never really going to be like fully ready for that.
So before, were you guys more like watch these videos but not take action type of thing?
Like always like writing notes, like learning. But up until you actually like start doing the work and like land your first client, you're never really going to be like 100%.
You guys try some other business models before email grow?
In grade 9, I tried drop shipping, but
a year or two. It's funny, but that's how I got my start as well, right?
And
assuming you guys
before that, I was writing captions online. I was making like $20 fucking a week or a month or something like that. Yeah,
Like on YouTube, it's
similar. Yeah,
you need to like write captions for them sometimes, like the transcript. You also like on YouTube, like or on Google, fill out this form, earn like
$5. Yeah,
no
so
way.
that kind of shit. Yeah,
Word.
you watch like videos and you have to like write fucking.
How about you?
Captions.
What did you do before emails?
Honestly, emails was like Well, I remember in 2020, actually, when COVID hit, I was only 15 years old, but
Yeah, there you go.
I was only 15 years old when COVID hit, but that's when I found out about like Emon and the whole like SMMA space. And so I got into that, but once again, analysis paralysis is what killed me there. Like imagine right now, even imagine I started my agency in 2020 offering email services. Like that was so untapped back then and it would have been crazy, but I just didn't execute. But that's what got into it. That's what got me into the agency space just on YouTube in 2020. And then I kind of fell out with it and then revisited it in August of 2022, that summer. And then once again, we didn't actually execute until September 2023. But my main point here is the biggest change in our business, what took us from like zero, because I know a lot of people watching this can probably relate. Like until you've actually done it, you don't believe that like making money online is even possible. Like these people talking about these crazy numbers, like you don't really believe it. But the biggest catalyst was just doing it, because I'll say right now, when we got our first client, we were not ready to fulfill for our first client. But you'll know if you have that, like a lot of people call it like the it factor, but if you throw yourself into the deep end, just start doing outreach, land a client, like you're gonna have to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the best way to go about it, because you're never gonna feel 100% ready. And so might as well just throw yourself in the deep end and then figure out as you go.
Yeah, and plus when you take someone's and you know what's good that you said that is because you guys genuinely care about the people you work with. So if someone's paying you guys money, now it forces you to actually figure things out versus before, bro, like you didn't really have the incentive, right? Like, yeah, you want to do better for yourself. It's like they say, right? Like loss aversion is like more powerful as a motivator than like gaining something. When it's like, if you like, so you guys were like probably worried about losing the client, disappointing the client. And that's why you guys probably started like, speed running through actually trying to figure out emails and such instead of just standing around and waiting. Right. And no, that's amazing to hear. Just kind of got, your journey on getting your first client. But let's talk about the partnership side of things a little bit as well, because it's a common thing that people say is like never mix friendship with partnerships and such. And I assume you guys definitely have your fair share of, ups and down obstacles, like every partnership does. I have a similar story with you guys with you guys as well. But what would you say you guys do where you guys are able to, work it out and actually see success in a partnership through, friendship and just starting this thing together?
I guess I'll go ahead and answer that first. I mean, a lot of people do say, and I've heard this advice many times before, don't mix friendship and business and that. And I agree to a certain extent, but where I see it beneficial is like, for example, if you have like some random business partner, you guys might have strengths and weaknesses in business and you guys might be a good partnership, but like at the end of the day, it's hard for some people to justify working 12 hours with some guy that you like wouldn't even go out and get a drink with, or hang out with outside of business.
That's true.
And that's really big for us. Like we can grind for like 12, 15 hours together and it still feels like work. Obviously we're working hard, but we're together, we're best friends, like we're doing it together and it's fun.
That's awesome.
And also another thing is the motivating factor. Like because we're such close friends and we were before we started the business, we're very comfortable with each other and we push each other. Like he keeps me in check, I keep him in check. When I'm like slacking off on something, he'll be the first person to tell me like, yo, you gotta lock in basically.
Of course,
and I do the same for him.
accountability is important for sure.
Accountability is the biggest thing. And yeah, like I said, just there's no one you'd rather spend that time with and work with and like your best friend. It's just,
Yeah, it's like and I think in the second part as I'm hearing this is like the trust.
yeah,
Like
100%.
the last thing he's gonna do is screw you over a couple dollars, right? Because your guys' friendship is bigger than money. And in certain partnerships, it's like when money starts coming in, like you see like true colors show and people start, being weird towards their partners over like a couple dollars or whatever. But that's great to hear.
Yeah.
And I think also you guys probably both have a common goal and have the same vision for the agency, which is pretty
Absolutely.
cool to see.
Kind of lucky in a way because like both of us, like, we're best friends and we have like a similar mindset, which I feel like not a lot of friendships do have. Have like big goals and like both want to achieve it together. So I don't know. I think I'm pretty lucky for that too.
100%. Were you guys like the ones in your circle that would always be talking about like self-development,
Always,
like
yeah.
money shit and all that?
Yeah.
And all your other friends like, boy, y'all talking about type shit.
Even nowadays, like we still even nowadays, like we're not the type of people to like, cut off our friends as soon as we make a little bit of money. But even nowadays, like whenever we're with our friend group, it's me and Lazar always talking about how like, bro, we need to figure out how to like get a penthouse in Yorkville.
Yeah, of
type thing
course,
like
of
that. We're
course.
always like we have like the same North Star almost. So that definitely helps a lot, having the same motivating factors and being driven by the same thing. And so I feel like the business partnership just came naturally. We both had the same goals and
100%.
it worked out.
Let's talk about your first client experience and some of
That's
the
a good one.
some of the early because it ties perfectly in with some of the early obstacles you went through.
Yeah.
Share about the experience because I know a little bit about it, but the audience would, I think there's a lot to learn from you guys signing your first client and how you approached it, all the lessons you guys learned from it. So like, I'd love for you to share on that.
Yeah, it's actually a really funny story. Splash is a real one for this. This was before I joined Growth Writer, anything. I was stressing, DMing this guy like for help, and he actually replied to me, but I'll go ahead and explain the story. So we signed our first client, and as soon as I got that yes, like I'm down to try you guys out, he said, those are his exact words. I freaked out, like that was my first taste of like doing something online. So it was crazy. And we didn't know anything we were doing. Like I said earlier, we didn't even know how to fulfill the service. So we had no idea how to run things professionally. And the mistake that we made was we didn't sign a contract. We just thought, okay, verbal agreement, we're chilling, like we're about to get paid. And it was a performance deal. So we didn't get paid up front. It was on performance. So anyway, long story short, we actually perform a pretty good service for the guy. We made him a good amount of money. And end of the month comes and it's time for him to pay. And we send him the invoice. He's like, bro, like I'm not going to pay you guys. Basically, like this is a free trial type thing. And I was like, bro, it's not what we agreed on. And I was like stressing. And then I DM'd you way before I joined Growth Writer. And I was like, bro, I need your help. Like I explained the whole situation to
On a
you.
flight.
You were on a flight to Cape Town.
I was on a
Yeah,
flight
yeah,
to
yeah.
Cape Town. I do remember this actually. Yeah.
And I was stressing, DMing you, asking for help, and you actually replied to me and gave me really good advice. Told me like, bro, you need the right people around you. Like I made this mistake before, and that's honestly the biggest thing that helped us with joining Growth Writer is just that having those people around me that have already done what I want to do. Because for example, if we were in Growth Writer at that time, we wouldn't have encountered that situation, that
At all.
obstacle,
At
because you would have told me like, bro, obviously sign a contract before you start working.
Outside
Like,
of
we've been through
us,
this.
like there's so many amazing business owners that have their own unique journey, unique story, unique skills, and unique approach to business.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed about masterminds in general is you don't necessarily learn by someone preaching at someone. It's usually just through like conversations flowing, right?
Yeah,
Just
for
like
sure.
you're having conversations and you might bring something up that makes you go, oh, I never even thought about it like that, right? So no, 100%, I think that community matters so much. And I'm assuming at that point, you guys probably only knew each other that did emails.
Yeah.
So like, and you guys are just probably like,
Literally.
what do we do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So I reached out to you and you helped me out. But yeah, that first client was a disaster. We got scammed. We delivered the whole service, didn't get paid. But you know what? We're here where we are today because of that. It was a learning experience like everything.
100%, 100%.
Yeah, I feel like it's good that it happened in the beginning, low key, because who knows if that didn't happen, it would have happened for something like way bigger, like getting scammed or whatever. So
100%.
also low key grateful it happened because
Yup.
we learned a lot in the beginning.
Yeah, in the business world, bro, like, especially coming out, you guys, I guess just started your 20s, right? Are you guys 20?
Well, 19.
Oh, fuck. So you guys are not even 20s yet. But something like, we're literally like leaving our teenhood and being adults. And I think a lot of times younger adults don't see the world objectively for what it is, in the sense of we think that everything's supposed to just be going up and like everything's supposed to be positive and like this world's supposed to be this perfect like rah place, but the reality of the life is like ups and downs are normal, right? If you look at the weather, it's not always perfect every day. Stocks never just exponentially just only on the uptrend, right? These peaks and troughs are just very normal in life, and you must go through them, bro. Now you guys are never gonna make the mistake of
exactly.
the contract or like knowing what kind of clients to work with. It's experience you cannot skip, right? Sometimes in our mastermind, some people are like trying to get us to hold their hand through situations. I was like, no, bro, like being an entrepreneur is actually going through this and figuring it out through it. It was like the worst thing we could do is try to like hold your hand through this, because you're not going to become a real entrepreneur. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, you're not going to learn, right?
So I know everyone definitely has to go through it. It's
100%. And with that client, did he actually end up paying you guys any amount at all or no?
He paid us like $300.
I think our original invoice was for like $925 or something, and he refused to pay that like outright.
Which is crazy.
And then we took his flows down actually because he refused to pay. We like held his Klaviyo account hostage. Yeah.
What's up?
And he ended up paying us, I think, $300 for the flows back, and then later filed a dispute, like chargeback for it. So like we didn't even. But it is what it is, man. Learning experience. What can you do?
Yeah, you know what? Something I'll say to that point is you gotta, and you guys learn through experience, but in general, when you're starting, even if you're starting out or you already have a couple of clients, you gotta be very clear, not only the clients you want to work with, but very clear on the type of clients you don't want to work with.
For sure.
I think I have a video going out soon where I talk about anytime things have gone sour in business for me is when I don't listen to my intuition and ignore red flags.
Of course,
in the
every
beginning,
time,
it's always when you ignore red flags, you have these, right, where And sometimes our intuition, it's funny because it always knows what's right or wrong. And sometimes we might be greedy with money, or like greedy. I think for your guys, it's more of like, it's our first deal. We don't want to fuck it up. So you guys might be like walking on eggshells and all, right? But all these red flags you see, you gotta note it down. And if you're ever talking to someone, you gotta call it out. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're not someone that stands on principles. You're just controlled by money. And something that can be the worst thing that happen to your business sometimes is when you go into it with money being the main factor and focus. You know what I mean?
Sure. Dude, I'm telling you right now, the money is never worth the headache. Like, it depends on the type of client, of course, depends on the situation. But like, even after that guy, he tried to reach back out to us after again. And we did work with him again after that, which was a mistake. Like, he didn't scam us the second time, but it was just a nightmare, like, nightmare clients.
Yeah.
Always requesting, like,
And you guys did it because you guys wanted the money, but you
course.
guys went against your own, in a way, principles of like knowing what's right or wrong,
course.
right? It's like, you know, they say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. In a way, like, you know, but now you guys know, right?
Yeah, of
Like,
course.
it's better to learn that. I wanted to talk about, you know, so after you guys got the first client, had this whole situation, what happened to your guys' business after? Like, you know, what did you guys do after that?
So it was actually pretty good after the first client. We went on to sign 2 additional clients in, I think, less than a month. And those were
Like a
pretty
week or something.
Yeah, it was super quick. We signed 2 clients and we felt like we were on top of the world, like it was such a crazy feeling. But and that went on, I think that was February 2024. Yeah, less than a year ago. Crazy. So at that point we had 2 clients and it was not bad. Like, we were making, decent money, like nothing crazy, obviously, but like considering we were beginners, like just getting into the online world, it was pretty
You
good for
took
us.
stuff like online money, you know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
So
Yeah, it was definitely good for us. But then we had the nightmare period where one of our biggest client at that time that was paying us the most money actually churned and switched to another agency. And so we literally hit rock bottom. I think for March, April, and May, we basically made like no money almost until the end of May. And it was really scary, bro, because you go from feeling on top of the world to just feeling like you're at the bottom, like no way out almost. And a lot of people would quit at that point. And it was really important for us to get through it and just find any way to see the vision, like stick through, see the light at the end of the tunnel. Because, like I said, a lot of people would have quit at that point. And that was a really
100%.
important part in our agency. But we kept pushing, kept doing outreach, kept fulfilling for the one client that we did have, just doing everything we could to push through. And then I think at our actual lowest point in our business was when we joined Growth Writer.
Wow.
And that was absolutely probably the catalyst that led to, where we are today. We're nowhere near where we want to be or where we're going to be, but
100%.
definitely way better than we are now. And that was definitely thanks to joining at the time that we did, because I think one really important thing that a lot of people should try to do if they can, putting your back against the wall is, I think, really important because, bro, you know yourself, I'll be honest, like I gave you every last dollar that I had to join Growth Writer. And so after that, I was like, bro, we looked at, like, we had to make it
We
work.
financed Growth Writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We financed it. We did like a payment plan.
Yeah.
I had like $750 like to my name then.
Wow.
And then we sent you that, so I was left with zero.
Guys, by the way, this is like literally like maybe 8 months ago.
Yeah,
Like we were talking literally 8 months ago, you know what I'm saying? So they're talking about like almost having to start from scratch to where we are now, you know?
So yeah, we paid for Growth Writer with that payment plan. And then that was like around the time when like school ended, kind of like right before school ended in April. And every day we were like linking up, working, making zero money for like 2-3 months. Like it was actually like the worst period of our life, probably.
Dude, imagine that. Like, I don't think people understand, like, actually, like, getting together, meeting up, sitting at like a coffee shop or at one of our houses for literally 3 months with zero output. Like, you're not getting any of the results, but you just keep working. And that's really important for a lot of people. If you're watching this and you're still in that beginner stage, like, we were there, bro. Like, I know what it's like. And so you just have to keep pushing.
Main thing is not quitting, right?
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
that's what you guys did, is you persevered even though through the dark times, because like you guys know I've seen so many different journeys, but sometimes some of these guys quit in like 2-3 months and then they say it doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. Like obviously it sounds like cliche as fuck because literally everyone says like don't give up. And then like, during that period I was thinking like, bro, like how much longer is this gonna last, you know? But you just have to push through it, and then like I promise you, if you put in like enough work and stick with it for a long enough time, it's gonna work out. Like it has to.
Something I always say is like, yo, this business is so simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times the non-easy part that people are not willing to do is consistency.
Yeah.
You know, I was actually putting in that work daily, even without seeing any return, just having a positive foresight that, you know what, we could probably make it happen in the long term
Yeah.
anyways.
And that's the beauty of the email business. A lot of people, especially if you're just starting out, you have that privilege of, I mean, it's a service-based business. If you're just starting out, you have zero expenses. So I always like tell people if one of my friends asks me for advice or something, like you're just one yes away. You're one DM, you're one email, you're one LinkedIn connection away from signing that first client and changing everything for yourself.
Yeah,
So
we were talking about that when Pukar came through, was like, you know, that one client can change everything. It can build that momentum. It can change the
100%.
trajectory where they link you with this person, that person, whatever, you know. But speaking on, you know, and thank you guys for the compliment on, you know, saying Growth Rider really, it did help you
Of
guys a
course.
lot. I would love to hear about like, what are some changes that you made once you joined Growth Rider in your business that helped you guys? Again, like we're literally talking, these results are like, these low points that these guys are talking about like literally 8 months ago. You know, it's not like we're talking 2-3 years ago. So what were some of the changes you made after you joined that allowed you to, I would say, you know, make those changes and start getting some exponential growth in your business?
Yeah, a big thing you taught me was being an authority in your space, which is really important and allowed us to sign those bigger clients. So what we did, we were kind of all over the place when we joined Growth Writer, not really sure what niche to stick to, stuff like that. But once you told me, like, you sat down and you're like, yo, you have to get serious. Like, we were just two freelancers trying to make something work. We weren't serious at all. I remember you told me the first meeting we had, you said, show me your business. And I was like, "What?" Like, I didn't know what you were asking me, and then I realized, like, "Oh, shit, like, I don't have a business, like, I have nothing to show for it." We were just 2
Mhm.
friends on FaceTime, like, sending DMs, like, we had to have a business, you know?
Right.
So, that's a big thing, we had to get serious, uh, kinda organize our fulfillment process, organize our outreach, just make a business in general, and becoming that authority figure, like you said, we narrowed it down to one industry, and now we're one of the top options in that industry for email marketing
100%.
services with
100%.
clothing brands, so, that was really important for us.
Yeah, I think when you know, when he talks about authority, I'm saying, yo, like, understand and recognize the value that you bring
Mhm.
and don't allow yourself to be looked down on, and don't put others on a pedestal,
100%.
because you guys know this is like the work that you guys do, the results it brings these business owners, in a way, like these guys need you more than you need them.
For sure.
Like you guys are just talking about how you have this client that you guys have made millions of dollars for, but you guys got paid, you know, very not like a good price. Don't get me wrong, still for doing emails, but it's not like, you know what I'm saying. But that shows the value, like what you guys are worth. Like you guys literally can change a business and bring them millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like that says a lot, right? That's why I think that's why you started valuing yourself more, and then you also had confidence when I asked you to start raising your prices and charge more. Talk about that, because that's something that I think I started talking a lot more about this year, is like, you know, raising prices, having confidence in charging more. Talk about that, because you went from charging $800, $900 and thinking that even 2,000 US is a lot to charge, to
Yeah, unrealistic almost.
charging like, you know, 5K or even I think more.
Yeah.
So talk about that change too, bro, because a lot of entrepreneurs, they have a hard time doing that.
Yeah, a big thing you mentioned is confidence. Like, if you understand the value that you bring to the industry and with your services, that's all you need. Like, cause like for example, on sales calls, like this might people might criticize me for this, but I don't really follow like a sales process, like these objection handling tactics, etc. I just sit my prospects down and walk through their business with them and just explain it in math. Like, you guys are making this much, you're not using email marketing correctly. This is how much I could make you, like, explain to them what they're missing out on clearly.
Right.
And so just having that confidence, knowing you can deliver those results automatically allows you to demand higher prices, and that was a big catalyst. Like you said, we went from charging like 750 USD to now some of our clients are paying us over 4K USD, which
Yeah.
is still there's still room to grow. We should probably charge even more, you know, but
100%.
just that growth there, just being confident in ourselves and our service, what we can do, the value that we bring to these businesses was huge, and that helped us become an authority figure, become more confident,
Yeah.
and charge higher prices, like you said.
And when you charge a little higher prices, you attract a certain level of clients. So,
100%.
and you guys know this, you guys have gone through this. The worst clients to work with are the
The cheap
cheapest,
clients, of
Yeah.
course.
the
Yeah.
shit ones, like your first client.
Yeah.
Like imagine the value you brought to him, and this guy just was a bum. You know,
Yeah.
didn't understand the value of a business. What I've noticed is that when you charge higher, you attract real business owners that understand business, that understand, you know, there's a process behind things, that are not so monetary focused, where all they care about is the money, money, money. Oh, like I'm paying you guys so much for this, that. Oh, my money's going out. You know, they're not really understanding outside of the monetary ROI, the other value you guys bring to the business.
Yeah.
So I think that's another benefit as well. I know you guys recently got to link up with your client, I think in Chicago or such.
Yeah, we went
Talk
to
about that.
Chicago.
That'd be cool to talk about as well, because I like these are some of the benefits of email marketing that people don't see, is like being able to travel, go to a little pop up, or like, you know, even us, we were invited by one of our partners to like their party, that I think their 5-year anniversary party, right? And things like that. So talk to us about like that experience and such.
Yeah, Chicago was amazing. We went just this past month, early November, and we went to meet up, like you said, with one of our biggest clients. We've been working with them for a few months now, and it was sick because I feel like everyone that's getting into the agency space, like, and when you're starting out, you dream of things like this. I know I did, like flying out, meeting up with your clients in real life, like working in there if they have a physical location or something, just being with them, and it sounds corny, you know, but like it's like a dream come true type thing.
100%.
So it was really sick going out and meeting them, and a big thing is it just allowed us to further that relationship with them as well, which is super important. Meeting up in person, I was just on a Zoom meeting or something like
It's
that.
such a difference, man.
Yeah,
And also like some of these events we get to go to that email platforms host, right? It's like you get to meet amazing people, you get to learn amazing things as well.
Yeah, because then you notice it's not just like the numbers, and like they're not just like some random like online brand that's like online.
becomes
You actually get to like,
really-
yeah. You
becomes
can actually
really-
like connect with them, like you're friends with them now, you know?
100%,
So it's a good
100%.
relationship to have.
Yep, 100%. Are there any other obstacles that you guys went through that I feel like we haven't talked about as the agency was growing, or, you know, I guess when it comes to just that side of things as you guys were growing?
yeah. Do you want me to answer?
Yeah. I think,
You talked about charging less, talked about like not really having a business in the sense of not, you know, having systems and things in place.
One really important thing, like you said, on that topic, where it comes to like not having a real business, you can't scale if you don't have a real business. Like we would, if we were doing the same things that we were doing 8 months ago, we still would have been stuck at what, like 2-3K a month. Because once you start signing more clients, you can't fulfill, you can't stay organized. You're gonna start losing all of them if you can't deliver on your.
Your service has to reflect, right? Your service has to reflect the price you're charging. You can't just charge 5,000, 4,000, and then have systems and have a service where it doesn't reflect that. Because now it's gonna seem like as a business owner, I'll be like, these guys are sliding me. Like, you know, like I'm not getting the right end of the deal, right? So it's like, I think I was telling you as well, is to attract these certain clients, you have to run your business a certain way, because that's just because they just already have high standards and expectations because they're business owners as well, right? So it's like you can't really fool business owners. Maybe you can fool like these dropshipper kids, 1, 2 of them, and it's not going to be a long-term really working relationship. But like these proper brands, like some of the ones we have at MintApp that we're working with for like 3+ years, like it's like these guys, you're not, you know what I'm saying? You have to approach it very differently, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. And like there's always going to be a cheaper option. You don't want to be known as the cheapest option, which is why raising your prices is so important.
Something that you did that allows you to do that is you found your unique angle. You are able to go to clients and say a certain price, and they can't just go and price shop, because you guys have chose such a unique thing, and position yourself where you are the best solution. Like, yes, there's like maybe other people that might provide the solution, but I think you guys still are so the best ones. Or also, like, you know, now even if there are 1, 2 people, it's like it's not like hundreds of email marketers. It's
Yeah,
very different when you have hundreds of email marketers at your access, you know?
Do you mind if I touch on that for a
Yeah,
second?
please,
'Cause
please. I really
that's-
want you to.
I think that if there's one thing that led to where we are now, I think it's that. I think it's, and this isn't following the advice of what a lot of people tell you. This is kind of contrary to that. But the biggest thing that's helped us out is narrowing down and sticking to one industry. Because, I mean, a lot of people watching this are probably in an online space. They know there's 1,000,001 email marketing for e-com agencies in general.
Right.
Like there's endless options for people. Like it's really hard to stand out when you go as broad as that, just targeting e-com brands. What we did is we specifically and exclusively work with clothing brands, and because of that, there's like very few email agencies or email marketing partners that only work with clothing brands. And because of that, we were able to become one of the top ones really quickly. And because all of our clients are in the clothing industry, we know what works and we know what will get our clients results. And so sticking to that one industry, and that also helped a lot with becoming an authority figure. Like, yo, telling these prospects, we don't work with anyone else except for clothing brands, which is exactly your business. That shows, like, that makes them really comfortable with working with you, because you show that you understand their brand, you understand their business, and you've been through this before. You know how to provide the results. So
100%.
sticking to that one industry, a lot of people will tell you differently. Don't say no to money, which I agree with. If a brand reaches out to you and they're outside of your industry, and especially if you're bringing a beginning, you should probably take it. You know, don't say no to money. But yeah, just like I said, sticking to one industry has really helped us out a lot. So
Yeah.
if you're struggling to get clients, I recommend that to you. Probably find an industry that you know a bit about and stick to that.
Yeah, right, 100%. I think again, you guys found your unique mo. You know, it's whether it be the niche, the angle, the skill, or however you deliver it, it's like you guys found a moat to say, you know, almost like protect your business, right? Have a little bit more of a competitive advantage because now no someone can't just come into a streetwear and try to compete with you guys. You guys have the results, you guys have the authority. You know what I'm saying? I want to ask actually a little, you know, not off topic, but how did, you know, you guys starting emails and you guys running the email business, like how did that affect your personal life, you know, for better or worse? Like I would like to hear both actually.
It's a good question. I guess it's change your mindset, low key, because it's like you start seeing like the world from like a different perspective, kind of. Is like you realize that there's not just like one route to go down. You can go a separate route. It doesn't just have to be like school, this and that. I'm not telling you guys to like drop out, but I'm still in school. But yeah, I'm just like kind of open my eyes a bit. Just
Yeah, and it also in terms of personal life, like you said, it opens your eyes. You see, there's not just one lane to go down, and also I feel like you start thinking about things differently. Also, not to get too like spiritual or whatever, but like
For sure.
it really changes your mindset. Like you realize how much what your time is actually worth and how much time you're wasting on like useless things when you could. I mean, if anyone that has a phone and laptop can make money online, basically. So that's super important. It just showed us like, yo, we're wasting time. Like this is more of a productive use of our time, and so it helped us focus on our business because we had these goals that we wanted to reach, and we realized we're wasting time on this. And so it really helped set our priorities straight because obviously you don't ever want to put money above family or something like that.
Of
So
course.
you have to prioritize things, prioritize your family still, your relationships, friendships, but cut out the bullshit, cut out the random nights or just scrolling on TikTok uselessly. Like replace those bad habits with good ones. And so that's honestly the biggest thing. The biggest way it affected our personal lives was just becoming more focused on the positive things, what actually matters, and what's gonna push us towards our goals.
100%, 100%. And I think also you guys probably look at some of the things you guys did that was normal in your day-to-day life, and you're probably like, damn, bro, like I used to do that, like,
Yeah.
and that normally, you know what I'm saying? Or like maybe you even look at your environment and notice so many things or inefficiencies in how they do. Like, for example, I remember
Inefficiencies. That's
when I first started like getting into this whole thing, I remember seeing a group of friends and they spent an hour speaking about like such a small thing, but it was such a small thing and they made it so big. And I was like, holy fuck, bro, you guys just literally just spent an hour. Because yo, you know what it is?
like not a productive conversation.
Yeah, you start having real life problems.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, yo, I gotta go fucking wake up early. And, you know, this guy's paying me to put the work in. Oh, yo, we have this launch I have to work on. So it's like all these little minutia details that maybe you had the time and the energy to like get into. Like you literally don't, bro. You literally have like again real life fucking problems. And another thing I would say, which I know is like, you know, you guys have been to my events. You guys have met people in my circle. You also met guys that are maybe doing 10x and some maybe even 100x, right?
What we're
And,
doing.
and what you guys are doing and realize like, holy shit, man, like, yes, we might be the fucking guys in our circle with our friends, and that's not no disrespect to, you know, what you guys are like your friends or whatever, right? But it's like, but now you guys also know, holy shit, man, we're fucking nobodies.
There's really levels to this shit.
There's literally levels to this shit. And even recently I've realized, like, you know how we think there's levels to this shit? That level we're looking at is still low.
Yeah.
Because there's still more levels to this shit. You know what I'm
Always.
saying? Like we're looking up to guys that, and don't get me wrong, you know, and there's nothing wrong. It's like some of these guys are doing unreal, but in the reality of the world, bro, is like I always say is like there's probably some Dubai millionaire or something that just got pissed off at his neighbor because he got a new little statue in his front. So he's gonna spend all of what we made this whole year, all of us, on just to flex on him.
Yeah.
Just because he pissed off.
I remember you told me that one time. You're like, bro, you texted me this like out of the blue. It's like, bro, someone just went shopping and spent our net worth on like Birkin bags. Like, and
So a girl he doesn't even like.
yeah.
Like there's literally levels to this shit. Like, and that's to show abundance. You know that there's money is just ever flowing. There's never shortage of that.
That's a. Can I touch?
Yeah,
on that
talk
real quick?
about that. Like how like of that whole thing as well, please.
For sure. I think also another big thing that Growth Writer helped us with is being in the right circle of the people, getting in the right circle and getting around the right people because before that, I mean, not a lot of, apart from me and him, that's why we started the business. But apart from me and him, none of us would really talk about like business or any like goals like that in terms of like your career, what we want to be, we want to do something crazy. So joining Growth Writer and being around a group of like-minded people that have similar goals with us and show me what's possible. I mean, I remember that time when I DM'd you when I was stressing that my client scammed me. I remember this really stuck with me. I remember to this day, you told me 10K is chump change. Once you make it, you realize it. And back then, like, I was like, bro, what is this guy? Like 10K would change my life right now, you know? But then I went ahead and made it. And I see what you mean now. Like, it really is. There's so much more to achieve in this life. And right now,
100%.
like, even being in your circle and going to these events and stuff, we're meeting people that are doing millions a month, and it shows you like even more what's possible. So there's always that next level. And that's been super important to reach our goals, because if you told me a year ago, like, we'd be making 20K a month, like, I wouldn't believe you. Like, that would have been crazy. But then we did it. And now then they're now next level, like, yo, we're trying to get to 100K, a million. Like, it just keeps rising, and being in a circle where people allow you to see that, see what's possible, and being around like-minded people is super important. And Growth Writer definitely helped us out a lot with that.
100%. No, I appreciate you guys, and you know, I think working with you guys as well. Never felt like we're genuinely coaching you guys, and what I liked is you guys actually you executed on whatever I said. You know what I'm saying? You just listened and executed on whatever I said. Y'all kind of want to hear the vape story, bro, from you, because I were texting that, and then
talking about this.
yeah, I know. I wanted to bring this up because I posted on my story, and then I remember like, we said we are gonna talk about it. But yeah, tell us the vape story, bro. This is hilarious.
Yeah, man, the vape story. Sorry if my mom and dad are watching this, but it was about that, as I mentioned previously, the lowest point in our business, that like period of March, April, May, like 2024, just what was that, like 8 months ago, like you said, we were making zero money. And I remember there was a point in my life where I had to pick, am I gonna buy a vape or am I gonna get a haircut? Because I think I only had like 25 or $30 to my name, bro. And I chose the vape. Couldn't get a haircut for another 2 months. It's a funny story, but it shows how far we've come. Like now, thanks to emails and thanks to Growth Writer, where we don't have to worry about that. We have an abundance of nicotine. So
100%.
And I was gonna say it's also good to like look back to like to see how far you've come.
funny moments like that.
Yeah, I remember it was in December, like last year, we are playing OG Fortnite, and we're talking like, bro, if only we could make like $500 each a month. So we actually had no, like, we couldn't afford food.
Like go out, eat with our friends.
That's crazy, bro. Poutine is wild, but hey, man, that's so you guys have come a long way. And just, you know, before we wrap up, I guess I would love to hear from your guys and like, what are some things that you guys are gonna do in 2025 to really grow the agency and take it to the next level? I would love to hear from your guys, and you know, what are some plans and things you guys have been thinking of?
Well, we want to start content like ASAP. So this is like for the beginning of the year, and then obviously expand our team, hire more people, create like more opportunities for other people as well.
Even hiring, you guys were able to get help because of the mastermind.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah,
from the
literally
mastermind was
connected
able
us
to
with
connect
one of
with
our employees
someone,
now, yeah.
or you know, we were able to get a really talented
Yeah,
leader as well, right?
Yeah, and just I guess even helping our friends out as well, because
That's what's up.
two of our friends also want to start an email agency, help them get their first client. So I guess yeah, just helping people around us and it's growing the agency.
That's what's up.
Sure. Yeah, 2025 is definitely gonna be huge for us, because what's cool, I was thinking about it the other day, is this year is the first year where I actually did what I wanted to do. The first year of my life. And bro, I recommend for it, like, please just execute whatever goals you have, just execute, bro, because that feeling of looking back, now it's December, what, 18th, and looking back on the year and just being able to think to yourself, damn, like I actually did what I said I was gonna do this year and I actually did what I wanted to. That feeling is unmatched. So now we know it's possible. Same thing next year, 2025. 100K months are coming
Yeah, the
soon.
next interview we do will be when these guys are, you know, at the next level. You know, so we're
100%.
talking about 100K months for sure.
We will be the #1 email and SMS marketing partner for clothing brands in the space.
I was gonna touch on that point. Like the first year we actually did something, I'd always see those TikToks and like influencers talking about like, oh, the year's coming to an end. Like, what'd you do?
You're still in the same place that you were
Yeah,
last year.
but I saw one of those like a week ago, and like I actually felt good because like we actually like executed and got to a point where
What's up?
like we couldn't even imagine ourselves being at.
Yeah, I
so.
remember you guys saying like you guys want to be at 10K a month by like 2025 summer, and there you guys were
Yeah.
kind of hitting those numbers, you know, like just 2024 summer, right? Or like, you know, getting close to it, which is awesome. But guys, no, I'm very proud of you guys, you know, and really, really awesome to see that, you know, you guys execute, because you guys already know so many people have like, you know, started, gone through this, but it's good to see people that are serious, stick to it, and genuinely take advantage of an opportunity, right? At the end of the day, like, just like you guys, like a lot of people watching, they have access to this opportunity. All they have to do is make the first decision. Like Alexa was saying, is like just execute, man. Don't just sit there analyzing, thinking through, because you're gonna think through years. You know, I think I should say this all the time. Like, people hit me up and they're like, "Yo, man, I want to start emails," or, "Hey, man, I'm thinking of doing this," and I'm just like, "Yo, you messaged me this 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yo, you messaged me this 2 years
What if
ago."
you started to like?
Yeah, imagine you just even did the bare minimum where you just said, you know, like, you didn't. And I'm not saying, this is not just saying, like, you know, join our mastermind, whatever. It's like, even if you just watch YouTube, even if you started just like reading books and getting yourself into it, it's like you can go farther than just still just thinking and saying, "Oh, what if, what if, what if?" Because a lot of people, they just stuck in this what if, and I want to think about it, think about it. And it's like, you know, you can only do that for so long until you realize, yo, I got to make a change if I want to see change in my life, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, guys, thank you again for coming. Appreciate you guys. Again, I'm gonna have these guys back soon. If you guys are watching, go ahead, follow them on Instagram. I'll put all their socials down below. You guys can check them out. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll be doing more of these, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.